Well, hello everybody. We have a live stream today. Woo, woo, woo. Who's ready? And we have company because my dog is barking. I don't know. There's no one on the street, so I don't know why she's barking. Oh wow, we have a few people already online. Thank you guys for showing up. And again, apologies for Annie. She's barking. Annie, baby, stop it. I don't know. She's barking at someone, obviously, outside. Okay, so I wanted to I haven't done a live stream in a while, so I figured I could do one today as things are ramping up with races. I signed up for the lottery for Broad Street. Some of you were asking me if I was going to sign up for that, and I did. Somehow I think it's going to be very hard to get a bib this year because everybody I know and their mothers signed up for Broad Street. So I think it's going to be a little bit complicated to get a bib. I suspect there's a lot of people signing up for that. So, but yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know. I see people logging in and tuning into the live stream. So let me know what races, if any, you're running here in the spring. Last video I published, last weekly vlog, I shared with you the list of races that I was doing. And I am doing the half marathon, the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moo tomorrow, which is hilly. It's like 1,200 feet of elevation and 13.1. So we shall see how that goes. And then after that, the next one is the Love Run in March in Philadelphia. I've run it before. I've run it twice before. It's hilly, but not super, super hilly. It is less hilly than the Philadelphia Half Marathon. So it's a different course. It's partially shared, but I like better the Philadelphia Half Marathon course than the one for the Love Run. But the Love Run is a nice course as well. It's just that I just personally prefer the half marathon, Philadelphia Half Marathon, the one in November. I prefer it better. But I have a lot of friends running the Love Run, and I figured I could jump in the bandwagon and run it as well. On my way to my real race, which is the April Fool's Half Marathon in Atlantic City. Again, I've run it twice, and I know the course like the palm of my hand. I could run it with my eyes closed, and it's a really easy course. It's all flat next to the ocean. It's an out and back. So other than a twist, it's an easy peasy course. So I am not getting any comments below, but if you want to ask questions or let me know, I'd be really curious to hear from you guys what races you are running this spring or what races you've run so far. So tomorrow is going to be my 6th race this year. I didn't run this morning. I can't show you guys, but you're going to see in the weekly vlog once it's released. It's going to Patreon tonight, and then it will be on the channel Monday. It snowed again, and we've had a really cold week, so it's been very challenging because I have a love-hate relationship with the treadmill right now. So I used to run a lot on the treadmill. I used to love running on the treadmill. And then I think I got treadmilled out in a way. And now when I have to do it on the treadmill, it's just like, oh, do I have to? So I'd rather run outside, which don't we all? I think most runners prefer running outside. But yeah, it's been a challenge because running outside with the temperatures we've been having, I have to run in the morning because I can't really fit it in otherwise, and it's just been terribly cold. By terribly, I mean with like the wind chill and all factored in. We've had mornings of like 18 degrees, which is like Celsius. Let me think about this. It's probably 6 negative in Celsius, 7 negative. So yeah, I mean, who wants to run in those temperatures? Nobody. I don't either, but I've done it because you guys know me. I really want to get it done, but This week hasn't been an easy week from all since after since after Dobie. Hi, Carol. Carol's here. Carol in the house. Good afternoon. Good morning for you still, right? Yeah. Yeah. So what are you running, Carol? Let us know. You're running something like the I know this. Okay. You're running a 10 miler, is it? It's a 10 miler, right? In April, I think. And then you're running the half marathon, the Halloween half marathon in Disney. I'm gonna have so much FOMO. So that's so cool. So anyway, I was saying that this week has been challenging, and I thought it started really well, but then I was extremely overwhelmed with work, with my pay gig, the one that pays the bills, and yeah, it's been a challenging week, but we have to have you know it's a trade-off. Some weeks are really good, other weeks are not so good, and then you just put everything on the balance and you keep doing it. So okay, so Carol saying next race is Cherry Blossom Half Marathon in Seattle. I thought it was a 10 miler. Okay, so it's a half marathon. Very cool. And how is that going? How's your training going? We follow each other on, and Carol, she's the one that I ran the half marathon in Disney and the marathon with. So you can put a face to the name. So I follow you on Strava. I know that you've been doing great. So yeah, and things are ramping up, but it's just the cold weather is getting to me. I don't know. Does it get to you guys, the cold weather as well? This seems like I'm doing like a commercial of some sort. Okay, I actually have this is not sponsored. I'm gonna open a beer. So I didn't do the 5K this morning, the 1C Fest 5K. Honestly, because for these local races, I kind of sign up last minute because I know there's always bibs. Um, and because so for the Love Run half marathon, for example, you pay the closer you to the race, the higher the price. But for these local races, the price is what it is. So I didn't sign up, and I was going to sign up Saturday, and then they said that we're going to get slammed with snow. So then yesterday I decided not to sign up. So I didn't run it this morning, but I have a friend who was running it, and he went this morning, and I think it went off because he was driving this morning. He told me, "I'm on my way, and the roads are fine." So, but yeah, we got quite a bit of snow. So we got well, it piled up on top of other snow. Let's put it that way. So we probably got 5 inches, and there were like maybe 2 or 3 inches on the ground. So everything adds up. So anyway, I just wasn't. It was far, so I would have needed to drive about an hour and a half there and then an hour and a half back. And by the time I woke up this morning, I thought it was the right call because it was snowing quite a bit this morning when I would have been on the road already. So I'm from Spain. I'm not a good driver in the snow. In Spain, when it snows a little bit, we actually put chains on the wheels. so so yeah, it's just I I just called it off. So sorry if I set up expectations that I could not meet. But tomorrow is happening. It's gonna be cold, but I think the trails should be fine. It's not 100%. It's not trail really. There's paths. So it's on a park and it's hilly, but there's asphalt on the trails. So it never goes off that asphalt trail. So it should be clean by tomorrow. I'm sure it will be. Otherwise, it's going to be an interesting. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use it as hill training. So because again, it's so hilly, and it's 4 loops, 2 loops of this one section, and then another 2 loops of the other section, and you do sort of like an 8. So it is intense in terms of it being a hilly course. What else can I tell you? So I have been, and you guys, I think you've been watching my videos, you know this. I've been doing a lot more intensity training, and I've been doing a little bit less of mileage. So usually when I train for a half marathon, I do 30, 35 miles a week. I'd be doing 28, 30. So it's on the lower end of what I'm used to doing. However, I'm going to ramp up that mileage now. And so that I'm prepared for April Fools. I still have, I'm not, I mean, I'm calculating, trying to visualize the calendar in my head. But we're talking, we still have 7 weeks, I think, if not 6. So I have time to ramp it up for like 3 weeks, hit the mileage as well. But right now, so far, I've been doing a lot of intensity. Like I've been doing intensity in the form of like strides, or I did 8 strides this morning, 8 20-second strides. So yeah, and then yesterday I did as well. So I've been doing a little bit of intensity at the end of my runs for every run. So hopefully that helps with the VO2 max, which it has helped. A funny thing is happening though, and it's that I am recovering really well for these intensity workouts, which is interesting because I always thought when I was training, prior to this, when I was in training, I always thought the intensity was like throwing me, kind of off balance. Um, I always thought it was the intensity, not the miles. And I think it's the other way around. I think the intensity I'm fine with. I think it's the miles that I'm not fine with. So, and we have Heather in the house. Hi, Heather. She says she literally just came in from her long run. I'm gonna keep elbowing this. And how long was your long run today? When is your half marathon? I'm actually not sure when your half marathon is. Because you're running a local one, right? Like somewhat local, you're not going too far. Heather's doing the 50 states. So, but I think you are local now. So let me know below how long your long run was, and also which half marathon you're running. You did 2 hours that ended up being 10 miles. Yeah. Great job. Was it cold? Because I know you've been like, you're in Arkansas, and I know that Arkansas has been having these crazy winter as well. And I can't really, I mean, I remember tougher winters than this one. It's just that last winter was so mild. This came as a shock to everybody. Okay, next two marathons are in Little Rock and in Alabama. Okay, so the one in Alabama, I think, is it the one in Tuscaloosa? There's one in Tuscaloosa, right? That's when I did 1 year of college in Tuscaloosa. Say hello to everybody. But yeah, Little Rock is hilly. Tuscaloosa is flat. I don't remember any hills. Well, actually, this was so many years ago, and I wasn't a runner, so I don't know. But I don't think Tuscaloosa is hilly. There might be a couple. Like I remember out from my dorm. My dorm was the last dorm. Like if it had been half a mile, you know, further, we would have been off campus. So my dorm was the last one, and there was a hill, but I think it was the only hill. I don't remember any of it. Okay, so Heather saying we had a cold dip this weekend. It's really windy. It was windy yesterday here. Today is not, but yesterday was really windy. It's in Woodville. I don't know where Woodville is. Is that north? Alabama's a big state. Is it north or south? Past 2 miles are in a cave? Holy holy. Are you gonna film? Like that would be so cool. Although if it's super dark, you can't really see much. But do you have to wear like the lamps on that? Or is it like do they have lights in the cave or not? There's one here. Someone sent me a link one. Um, there's one here that you actually run through an old tunnel with the train tracks. So you run by the train tracks, but under the tunnel, and it's like I think it's like 4 miles are in this tunnel. So and these people had to have the lamps because otherwise there's no light. So I am not too fond of darkness because I'm gonna I've told this many times, but I'll explain it again. I had shingles in this eye 10 years ago, but it did a hole in my cornea. And when it's dark and my pupil grows to let more light in, it goes like the actual hole is like it doesn't affect me during the day, but when it's really dark, the pupil gets bigger and then that hole lets the light in and it's really uncomfortable. I just don't feel it just gives me just thinking about it makes me very uneasy. Woodville is right outside Huntsville. Never made it to Huntsville. My roommate actually was from Huntsville. I had two roommates, and one of them was from Huntsville. The other one was from Georgia. The race is in Cathedral Cavern State Park. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to check this one out. I never, like I doing the 50 states is not something that really entices me, believe it or not. I think I would do some states, but I would find it hard to do some of the. I don't know that I have a thing that I could do in all 50. It's a lot of money to commit to as well. So, do you have mapped it like in advance? My friend Jennifer is on her 46th, I think, and her last one is going to be Hawaii. So, and I mean, some of the states are really expensive because if you want to run, obviously you have to run in Hawaii, you have to run in Alaska. All those states, they're a hike, so it's very expensive. But yeah, I'd be curious to see if you mapped out which races you want to do in every state. And you put them in your calendar ready, like, okay, this one sounds super cool though. My husband was like, "You're going to Alabama on purpose?" Honestly, I liked Alabama. A popular opinion, maybe. I don't know. I liked Alabama. I thought it was people are very, very friendly, very friendly. So, I mean, of course, I was there. I was a college student. Yeah. So everything was peachy for me. Um, I didn't have to, buy a house or find a job or anything like that. I was just there for, but I liked Alabama. Oh, is your husband a runner? He's not a runner, right, Heather? My husband is not either. I didn't think your husband was. Hi, Jess! Oh my God! Long time no see. I've seen your videos on YouTube. Everybody, check out Jess's channel. But I haven't seen you here in a while. Are you still running, Jess? Because I know you go to the gym. You do a lot of strength training and lifting and all that. I know that, but I don't know if you're still running. Jess ran the Boston Marathon virtually. That's how actually I found you. I don't know if you found me first or I found you, but that was what drew me to your channel was the virtual Boston. You haven't been running lately. Yeah, is there a reason for that, or just you didn't feel like it? I mean, we all go through phases, so and sometimes you pivot. You need a different kind of exercise. I know that you do a lot of exercise anyway, so you're very healthy. Oh wow, I didn't know this about your husband. He sails boats semi-competitively. Where does he sail the boats? Like lake or ocean? I'm gonna guess lake because you guys are in Arkansas. But Jess is saying I did haha. This is about I think it's answering my comment about the virtual Boston. Right. So Jess is saying that I asked her about running. It's hard to do with my gym. I prefer my classes and have trouble balancing the two. It is. It's so, as you guys know, I'm primarily a runner. I like strength training. So if I didn't run, I would strength train a lot more. I just like running more than strength training, but I like strength training as well. So, okay. So Heather's saying we have so many lakes in Arkansas. We'd love to do some open ocean sailing though. There's great ocean sailing in Spain. I mean, not that it's not around the corner, but like even the king of Spain, he's with the Olympic team. That's something that's very cool that not many people know. And his father, the prior king, was also with the Olympic team. The boats that go, the ones that everybody goes once, runs to one side to turn and all that. Um, it is, it's nice. And when the Olympic Games were in Barcelona, he was the guy that had he was the prince at the time. He was the guy with the Spanish flag at the beginning of the Olympic Games. So yeah, there's a Spaniards we like our water and we like our, believe it or not, this is going to come as a surprise. The first medal Spain ever won was in skiing. It was alpine skiing, like the jumping, yeah, in the 60s, 62, I think was 62. You can guys Google that. But yeah, that was our first medal in the Olympic Games ever. And we do have, I mean, it's not as big as in the United States, but people ski recreationally. My family never did it, but all my friends pretty much, their families, like they would go. And in Madrid, you can ski actually. Madrid is not a cold city, but we have mountains on one side. That's why it's not cold, because the mountains protect the city. Um, but it snows. There's snow in the mountains right now in Madrid. So if you want to go skiing, you drive 30 miles and you ski in Madrid. My vice principal at school stopped Principe Felipe when, oh my God, I can't believe that. Like, you need to give me more information about this. This is this is too funny. So he's the king now. Okay, I need to know. It's a funny story. Like you need to type it. Spain, that is true. You can do a lot of trail running. You can do a lot of cycling. You can do the not the Ironman, but the main triathlon in the country is in Madrid, and it's in the lake in the middle of the city. It's really cool to see. Like they stop the city and it's right there. Although the one in New York City is in Central Park, so I shouldn't say. But Central Park is much bigger than the park in Madrid. Oh, probably will not be funny today. They take everything so seriously. Oh, so now, now I don't know what this story like really. I still want to hear it. So if you want to hit me on Instagram or by email. So the prince, the current king in Spain, who was the prince, he actually went to Georgetown for his master's. Um, his master's in, I don't remember. I think international law, or I don't know, but he went to Georgetown. She was staying with the family in Sevilla, and the real family was staying there. She wrote him a letter and sat outside waiting. She tried to get the guard to give it to him, and they yelled at her to go. Oh, he's a handsome fella. I mean, probably the tallest man in Spain. Because that whole family, they're all super tall. Like, like the sisters, the king's sisters are also very tall. He's probably 6 feet. Oh God, he's got to be 6 feet 4. He's always like when they have dignitaries and stuff, going on. He's always the tallest guy in the room. There's no one ever taller than him. So, but yeah, the royal family loves Seville. They go there quite a bit, and they stay. Like there's they have a network. off royal palaces, obviously. So they have a place to stay in every town. And Sevilla is so nice. One of my favorite cities in Spain. Yeah. So when I was growing up, my university, there's a thing called like the Pulitzer Prize, which is for a novel written in English. In Spanish, it's called the Cervantes Prize. And the award is given at the main, um, it's like this main room in my college I went to. The college, where I graduated, when they did the ceremony, when they give you your diploma and all that, it's in the same room where they give the Cervantes Prize, which is really big in the Spanish, you know, writing. Like Gabriel Garcia Marquez won the Cervantes. Anyway, the king and the queen go and give the award. And every single year, we would actually not go to class. Don't tell my parents. Not go to class and actually be there to see them walk inside the building. Because we were next door. Like the building where I had pretty much all the classes were next door. And one year we got there so early, we were sitting on the grass, and because usually we would see them like walking out, and there's all the journalists, and then there's a lot of, so you don't really see them up close. But one year we were there so early, we were sitting on the grass, and we saw them walking by. I mean, with a bunch of security and bodyguards and stuff, but we saw them like, I don't know, 2 yards from us, and it was so cool. It was really cool. Yeah. So we would do it every they were so in that building, it's it's a really, really old building. So I went to college in the city. So the award is given there because Cervantes was from there and his house is there and you can visit actually. It's like when you go to Stratford upon Avon in the UK, you can see Shakespeare's house, quote unquote. It's the same thing with Cervantes. It's so old, long ago that you really don't know if it was a real house or not. But taking it at face value is supposed to be the house of Cervantes, and you can actually, you pay and you can visit the house where Cervantes was raised and all that. And then they give that's why the Cervantes Award is given there. So yeah, I was next. And the building next to that main building, and the main building is old, it's like from the 14th century. So it's really cool. It's really, and they have like engravings up on top. It's really pretty. I mean, it's not Oxford University, but it is really pretty too. Sometimes it's worth skipping class, but I'm telling you, don't see. My brother might be watching this. Don't tell mom and dad. Yeah. Hi, Dan. Oh my God, so long ago. I was thinking about you this morning because I know you're like training again. Well, you never stop training, really. You're always training for something. But what's your next race, Dan? Let us know. I should know this because I've been watching your videos, but lo siento. C'est la vie. If my friend Carol is still watching, yeah. You know, I mean, I always tell my mom, I was so good. You could never imagine how good I was. Like I was good. I never did anything dangerous. I never, I was never late. Like if they gave me a curfew, I was never, I mean, I might have been 5 minutes late, but never like late. Um, I never went in the car with anybody I didn't know. I was a good person, never did drugs. I mean, I was, yeah, I studied hard. So that was the only time actually that I skipped class. It was the king and the queen. So, oh, you have a half marathon you've been asked to film in June. That's awesome. Oh, so you're not training? I thought you were training for something. Which half marathon is it? Is it local to you? Okay, let me go in order. So Heather's saying I couldn't get away with anything my parents both taught at my school. Well, yeah, that would make it very hard. Oh my God. Your husband is doing a 100K? That's a 60-miler, you guys, in Argentina. So the Aconcagua is like the Amazon, right? It's that same kind of terrain, isn't it? Like not woodsy, like forest, mosquitoes, snakes. I think that's the Aconcagua, right? I was a good girl. I've always been a good person. I mean, not that you guys are not, but I'm saying in the context of being a teenager, I was good. I never drank. I only remember drinking once, to be honest with you. Um, Growing up, I never touched alcohol. I didn't touch alcohol till I was 21, other than this one time that I remember. I didn't do it ever again after that one time till I turned 21. And in Spain, the legal age is 18. So I was more than that's like here in the United States, not drinking till you're 25. So it's part of the Andes. So it's not okay. So it's part of the Andes, and it's not what I picture then. I'm gonna have to Google this. So fun fact. When I was in Spain, I worked for this company for 11 years, the longest that I've worked for a company. But I was very happy in that company. Never thought about leaving. They never thought about letting me go. I mean, it was a good. We were a good match. And I had really a really good team there. A lot of my coworkers, they were like family. As a matter of fact, when I got married here in the United States, a few of them came to my wedding. So that's how good, we were good friends. There's so many years, I mean, naturally. But I had my clients that I had, they were like really, again, because after 11 years with the same clients, you know them, you know their wives. So like, I had excellent clients. And I had this one client once, I will never forget it. He won a trip to Patagonia. And he calls me and he said he was dating a girl at the time. And he said, I just broke up with my girlfriend. Do you want to come with me? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know you. Basically, I know you for shit. I don't know you, dude. Like, I sell you stuff and you buy stuff from me. But other than that, um, but yeah, he called me. He said, "You want to come?" I was like, "No, I'm sorry." And at that point, I was actually like divorced. Like I was separated from my first husband, about to sign my divorce. So yeah, but I told him no. It was kind of, but yeah. I've never been to Argentina. That would have been my chance to go to Patagonia. And he was also one of our best clients. So somehow my manager caught wind of the whole conversation. And he said, "You should have said yes. Maybe he would buy more stuff." And I'm like, "No way." Like, there's no way. Okay, so Dan is saying it's just up the road called the Martian Race. Martian Race, that's a really cool name. It's linked to H.G. Wells. One of my favorite books growing up. War of the Worlds. I've not read it before, but looking forward to it. I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah, one of my favorite books, H.G. Wells. And he wrote also, what's the other one he wrote? The Time Machine? Yeah, The Time Machine is H.G. Wells as well. I read it too. Oh, I bet. Argentina is a beautiful country. Very diverse, yeah. You were a good girl too. I picture you as as being a good girl. Yeah, I did not go. No, I said no, I didn't go. You would have gone. That's what everybody was saying. It's like, but my son was with me pretty much all the time. And my son was, he must have been, so when my first husband and I, this is a premiere, worldwide premiere, nobody knows this on the internet, not on the channel. Um, so my husband and I separated when my son was 15 months old. So, and it takes you a while to like sign all the paperwork and everything. So my son was probably not even two. Yeah. Did he have ideas? I I don't know, maybe. He had a little girl too. That's the funny thing. Yeah, he had a little girl who was almost my son's. I think they were like 2 weeks apart or something. I I know he ended up taking a male friend. That's what I know. And he sent me pictures, like he said, "This is what you missed." They went to Patagonia and they had like the steaks because Argentina has really good steaks, really good meat, beef. So yeah. How has your reading resolution been going? So I actually decided to do this long book. So I'm like kind of reading in between. So I am at 2 books right now, but I am like Dune, so 2.5, because Dune I'm like kind of it's long, so I shouldn't have started with Dune. Let's put it that way. Because if I want to read 20 books a year, I said 20 books, I think it was. Yeah, that sounds right. 20 books a year, like I need to move faster than I'm moving. So yeah, I'm still reading Dune, but I'm reading other things in between. So I know. And so I said that I wanted to see 2 live performances. I saw Aladdin the other day with Jennifer and Len in New York City. And my husband and my son and I are going to go to a jazz concert in Princeton in April, sometime in April. So it's actually a band that both my husband and my son like a lot. And when my son turned 15, I think it was when he was 15, but I don't know if it was for my son's 15 or for my husband's birthday. I bought tickets for them to go see them in Philadelphia. So they went to Philadelphia, and that was my son's first concert ever. Was going to like professional, concert was to see these jazz bands. So now my husband saw that they are coming to Princeton, and he said, "I'm thinking about taking Bruno. Do you want to come?" And I said, "Okay, let's just." So the 3 of us are going to go. To be honest with you, I like jazz, but I like conservative, sort of like traditional jazz. These bands, I mean, you guys can check them out. They're called Snarky Puppy. They're really good, but it's more like um, there's a lot of improvisation. It's more like pop, but jazzy. It's not like my alley. Um, I'll go to spend time with them, but yeah, yeah, it's experimental. That's actually yes, that's the right way. The words were not coming to me. Experimental jazz, yeah. And if you Google them, they have it in YouTube. You can see their music. They they're good, but I just like a full hour and a half, 2 hours of them in concert. Yeah. Now, if you take me to watch like traditional jazz, I can be there 4 or 5 hours. I really like traditional jazz, but experimental jazz, not as much. Your husband likes them? It's possible. They have an interesting, yeah, they have a lot of followers. They're not mainstream, but they're, if you like jazz, you're bound to like a snark puppy. Yeah. It's good, it's just not your thing. That's the way that I feel. So once we were driving, oh, I think we went to Florida. We drove to Florida because we were looking at schools in Florida for my son when he was applying to colleges or about to start applying to college. And we went to Florida. Obviously, my son did not end up going there. We did. We went to Embry-Riddle, and then we went to University of Central Florida. Yes, University of Central Florida. And obviously, we drove there because it was in the middle of COVID and we didn't want to fly and blah, 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 blah. So we drove all straight, 16 hours driving. And I remember it was my husband's turn to drive and he was playing Snarky Puppy. And I'm like, okay, I hope we're not doing 16 hours of this because it's good for like an hour. But after that, I need a break. I'm sorry. Yeah. So they're a good band. They're playing in this really nice theater in Princeton, right outside campus, Princeton University. So yeah, my son and my husband, they kind of like the same music, which is interesting. I like different music. Although sometimes when my son, drives me somewhere or we're going somewhere and we're going in his car, he has really interesting music in his playlist. So there's always 1 or 2 songs that I'm like, I need to add this to my Spotify. Yeah. My husband and my son like this pop. It's a pop band. Oh my God. And when they play, it's like, okay, this is giving me a headache. Like, you guys, I can't do it. Um, I forgot what it's called, but it's also like pop, like experimental pop, and it's like it's just too much, you know. This is a really good rule. That's why we've instituted a rule in our car. Everyone gets an hour to choose music. Yeah. My dad used to play a lot of Beatles, which I think is the reason why I don't like the Beatles. I just don't like the Beatles, which I know another popular opinion. You have converted him to Latin music. Good for you. When I play Latin music around the house, my husband is always like, "Who are these? I like them." He doesn't know much about Latin music. It's fun. We listen. I mean, in Spain, we listen to a lot of Latin music, obviously. Oh, not so obvious because, you know, Latin America is another whole other continent. It's not Europe, but we do listen to a lot of Latin music. Like they play it on the radio, and Mark Anthony is huge, for example, in Spain. But I think the music that, like the people who make it to Spain, who get to be famous in Spain, are very mainstream. Like Shakira is huge in Spain. Um, Mark Anthony's huge. Who else is huge in Spain? Ricky Martin is huge in Spain. But a lot of people that, are famous here in the United States, nobody has heard of them in Spain. So we listen. I think you have to be really big to make it and be played. Yes, I saw that. I follow her on YouTube. I love Shakira. Although I don't know if you guys know this, but this that has nothing. It's nothing related to running. But Shakira was sued by the Spanish IRS because she owed, I think it was 18 million euros in back taxes. So she ended up settling, but she would have gone to jail because in Spain, if you owe money over a certain amount, it's considered criminal. So then you go to jail. So she would have been, I think it would have been like 6 years in jail. And she would not have, I mean, they have put, the IRS in Spain is a serious matter. If they get you, you better pay, settle. I mean, nobody wins a case and it's the IRS in Spain. Yeah, she paid, I think she ended up paying, she owed 60 million, I think, and she ended up, or 18 million, and she ended up paying 2 million less than she owed. So they settled. I think it would have been, because obviously it takes a while to go through the whole. And if she goes back to Colombia or something, I don't know if Colombia has extradition with Spain. It gets very convoluted. So yeah, it was all because I think Spain considered her to be. So when you're a citizen, if you don't live in the country, you don't have to pay taxes. But she was living in Spain the vast majority of the time, and she alleged that she really wasn't. But obviously, she's super famous. Like they know she's around, so they could actually prove it. Like you've been in the country and this and this. Like you flew and you were here, and so they could prove that she was the necessary amount of time in Spain to pay taxes. So I was also low key hoping she was dating Lewis Hamilton, so she'd keep showing up at F1 races. Shakira has dated interesting people. She never dates anyone who's not like a big. Because other people, well, I guess when you're at that level of famous, you only date famous people. But she dated um, I think it was the Uruguayan, the son of the prime minister of Uruguay, for a while, for like 5 or 6 years. They were engaged, which was a huge. I think it was the son of the prime minister of Uruguay, which again, not that big. But that was like way, like 30 years ago when she was like 20 something, like 22, 23. So she always dated people who were, you know, we're all someone's, but like someone that was recognizable. So, so yeah, she's always dated, and she was dating Piqué, which he's no one here, but And if you follow soccer, he is mega famous, mega famous in the soccer world. So yeah, and all her music lately has been about the relationship with the guy. So the new album is has a lot of the songs. I mean, she's cashed in with the breakup. So, and in one of the songs, I mean, it's in Spanish, but she alludes to how the thing went down, and she's like, "You left me living next door to your mom, living next door to my mom, with the IRS going after me." And I don't know, but she actually tells the story in the song. So can't watch the Waka Waka video anymore because he's in it. That's how they met each other at the South Africa. Las Mujeres Facturan. That's the name of the new. I still, like I like her a lot. I like her music. I've liked Shakira since the very first album she got out. I actually have it. I have the CD. I have it downstairs, and I play it from time to time. So, yeah, I like Shakira. She is very. I think she's very unique, and we have seen her so much that we don't realize how unique she is. So she dances different to anybody else. She sings different to anybody else. She does a lot of different, like all her music is very um, Latin music, but it's like different styles. So she does more like pop. She does more like rap. She does more like main. She's even done. She has this eyes like this. It's like um, Arab kind of music because she's half Lebanese, I think. So, ojos así. Yeah, I have it on my playlist. Yeah, but yeah, it's completely different too. Like her range of music, and she writes everything herself. So, I think she's super talented. Her dad is Lebanese. Yeah, her mom is Colombian, and that's why she was born in Colombia. Lebanese people have been everywhere. She was the gazelle in Zootopia. When they play in all the Disney races, they play "Try Everything." Yeah, it's one of the best songs to run a marathon to. Try everything. Yeah, pretty cool. So we have 8 more minutes, guys. I see that most of the people started tuning in after the halfway mark. So just to catch you up, for those of you who were not here in the beginning, I didn't run this morning because we got slammed with snow, and I would have had to not run, drive an hour and a half, and it was a trail run, and I don't have spikes, and so yeah, I was honestly I was concerned about maybe even falling and getting injured or something, and I just chickened out. I wasn't feeling it. So I ran this morning. I did a 5K this morning. I ran my neighborhood, but I didn't do the race that I was supposed to do this morning. But I am running tomorrow. I'm doing the half marathon. So treadmill. I should have run on the treadmill. I did the treadmill. I went outside and ran, but it was snowing. I got beautiful, beautiful footage though. I mean, it was something else. I got my self-flying camera, and you can see the drops of snow. I mean, it was really good footage. So not that I did it for that. I did it because again, I was concerned about driving an hour and a half in the snow because it was snowing. By the time I would have had to leave, making the calculation, I would have had to leave at 6:30 in the morning. It was falling hard at 6:30. So what will I eat tonight to prepare? So this is interesting. I carb loaded for all my key races last year. Well, I carb loaded for April Fools in April. It didn't work because obviously I didn't PR, and I even got slower than the prior year. So the year that I ran 203, I didn't carb load. It was not even a key race for me. I just did it for fun, and I did 203. And then the following year, training super hard, carb loading, hydrating, all that, I did 209. So I'm a little superstitious. Then I carb loaded again for Wine Glass Marathon, and again it didn't work out. So then for Philadelphia Half Marathon in November, I did not carb load, and I did 205. It's really healing. So I think without the hills, I would have been able to improve my 203. So in other words, I'm not going to carb load just because yeah. And I am probably going to have a meat and then potatoes of some kind. I cut them, I slice them, and I put them in the oven with olive oil and salt and pepper. They're really good. If you put an onion, like slice an onion and put it in between, like in a bed like this, spread out. In 20 minutes, they're cooked and they're delicious. I make them like that a lot, so probably we'll have that. So whatever carbs are in the potatoes and whatever meat, either chicken or beef, probably tonight. So yeah. I so the last book I read, Heather asked me before about what I was reading, if I was keeping up with the, because I set in my goals that I was gonna do 20 books. I'm at 2.5 right now. I read recently Next Level by Stacy Sims, and I actually have to reread that whole chapter on like food because I want to understand how it works. But basically, what she explains in the book is that when you're post-menopausal, which I am, your muscles do not, because you lack because obviously the hormones are not at the level when you were pre-menopause. Your hormones are at a different level. Estrogen and progesterone is what helps your muscles hold on to that glycogen. When you're postmenopausal, there's not that aid from the hormones to hold on to the glycogen. So basically, you're going from using glucose to you jump to um, using fatty acids like this, pretty much. So you use whatever glucose is in your blood and then move on to fatty acids. But I want to read it again and take notes so that I can actually picture it in my mind, because she actually explains like how it happens, like chemically in the body, how it happens. So that could be the reason why, like she says that when they have done studies and they have men carb load and women carb load, men really increase their carb load stores, their glycogen stores, and for postmenopausal women, there's no difference. Like you're eating those carbs, that just really just either store them in fat or burn them, but if you overeat, they're going to go as fat in your body. They don't go into your muscles as glycogen. So that's where I am right now, guys. I am like, I don't know, because obviously only 1% of the population runs. And of that 1%, how many people are postmenopausal or, 50, like I am? Not many. I mean, there's people obviously who run over 50, but there's not a lot of people that have been doing studies on. And I mean, like, really, till 2016, the FDA did not make it mandatory for pharmaceutical companies, to include women in clinical studies. Like, how bad is that? I mean, they would obviously do studies in women for like the oral contraceptive pill, all of that, of course, because the target is women. But if they're doing tests on, I don't know, a new, a substitute of ibuprofen, they would do it only in men. Till 2016, pharmaceutical companies were not forced to utilize, like include women in the studies. That's awful, like really, because we might as well be a different species. You're perimenopausal, I thank you for sharing that. Buy the book. It's called Next Level, or I got it from the library, but I probably will end up buying it. So she has another book called Roar. I don't know that it deals a lot, but this one is for perimenopausal and menopause and postmenopausal women. So yeah. So yeah, it is insane. It is insane. And she does a lot. Stacy Sims does a lot of. She's very prolific, so she has a lot of. So if you go on Spotify, Spotify is what I use to listen to podcasts. You go on Spotify and type Stacy Sims, Sims, Stacy with a Y, and then Sims. She is like, she does so many interviews, and she explains things really, she's very down to earth. So she can get in the nitty gritty details of like chemical reactions in your body and stuff, but she explains, like you understand, you can follow the train of thought. So I like her a lot. And if you Google her, you're gonna see again. But I use Spotify because I don't have an iPhone. I have an iPhone for work, but personal use I like Samsung. So I have a Galaxy. I use Spotify for my podcast, and again, she does so many. I listened to that interview though. It's not her best one because I think they limited her to this topic. Because I think because another mother runner has been running, it's a long, they have how many, 1,000 podcasts or something? They've been doing it forever, like 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. It's been running. So I do think they wanted to keep it limited to this topic. So it's not the best to listen to. She did one with, I think it was The Proof with Simon Hill. I think that's the one that I really liked. Or if it was not The Proof with Simon Hill, it was The Diary of a CEO. There's this guy, I think he's British, The Diary of a CEO. She was definitely The Diary of a CEO. And it's, she explains things really, really well. So she was also one of the scientists in the WHI study, like the WHI? Yes, the women hormone, the one that, they included 10,000 women. So she was one of the leading researchers there. And she doesn't push for hormone replacement therapy. So, yeah. But yeah, you love the Diary of a CEO. Yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts because he has a variety. Like he brings in different guests, so it's not boring at all. Like other podcasters, like deal with the same people over and over and over time. If you listen to them every week, it's kind of more of the same, even though it's different angles. But with the Diary of a CEO, you get like they talk about different things. So I like it. And he's a really good interviewer. He's really good. Very he gets the information he wants to get, but he's non-threatening. He doesn't like push when he makes the questions. He's really good. They go really deep. Yeah. He had one with the guy that wrote Exercised, which is another book that I really want to read. Exercised. He's a guy, he's a runner, he's an old guy. I think he is in Yale or he's a professor. I think he's in Yale. And I think he's a biologist, but he has this book called Exercise about how, our bodies were designed to exercise and how exercising changes really your body and your cells. And so that interview was really good. I forgot the name of the guy. Oh, Jorge lives in Mexico and he does a lot of trail running and he's running 103 kilometers. Hola, ya casi acabamos. I'm just telling Jorge that we're almost ending. So yeah, we've been at it for a week. Oh, for a week. Oh my God, for an hour. That tells you how tired I am. Like one of the things I wanted to mention, I've been tired. It has nothing to do with running. Because I've been working very hard, and the work I do these days is very mental, and I have to be very, very focused. And it requires all my neurons to be like on overdrive. So much so the other day I was working on this. So we have like open sitting at my company. Anybody sits, you get in the morning and you see whatever you sit. But there was this guy sitting next to me and he was talking. He evidently he knew the guy on the other side. So they were talking. And I had like we have big screens. We have two screens and they're big. So in one of the screens I had this spreadsheet that I was trying to like reconcile and make sure all the data was correct and everything. And I'm there. And obviously I had long hair. So they didn't notice I was listening to music on my, like my the headphones that sit on your ears. So it was like this, and I was just working, and then he's talking to me, and I hear something, but I am in between just working on the spreadsheet and the music. I was really not. So then he asks again louder, and I turn to him and I'm like, "Excuse me," and I take off the "Excuse me," and he's like, um. Are we distracting you? And I'm like, oh no, I was listening to music. You can go ahead. So, but I have to be like really concentrated, and I listen to specific music. It's not like music that revs up my like it's music that gets me in the zone. Weak hour time is relative. You're so good. No, I've been like I really can tell that this work is making me you know it's making my neurons exercise as well. Aún conservas tu acento madrileño. Yes. So Jorge's saying I still have my accent from Madrid. Never goes away. Yeah. Teteamos. In Madrid, teteamos. So in Madrid, we use it. Whereas well, actually, the south of Spain uses this. So, and then in Latin America, they use these as well. So I think, you know, we're probably the only ones that they had, like Madrid and north of Madrid. Everybody else, I think, yeah. So when we talk, we sound funny to other people because we use it. Yeah. So I say cesear. Jorge would say cesear, right? Jorge? And you are from, you've told me this before, Mexico. Again, it's a huge country, but you're not from Mexico City, right? No eres del DF. So, guys, unfortunately, I'm gonna leave Jorge the opportunity to, if he's still around, Toluca. He's from Toluca. Yes, and Toluca is like in the middle of the country, right? I think so. I think you're the kind of where well, again, Mexico. There are a lot of mountains in Mexico, but you're from the mountains. Una hora de Ciudad de México. Yeah. CDMX, Ciudad de México, for those of you who are reading that. Okay, guys, we've been here 1 hour, 2 minutes, soon to be 1 hour, 3 minutes. I love chatting with you. Sorry, it's been such a long time since we did a live. Um, I love doing lives. So if I could do lives, I probably would do lives like Kafuzi every day. I just don't think I would have enough quorum. I would not have enough people joining every single live. But if it was for me, I would do a live stream every day. So I love chatting with you. Thanks, Heather, for joining. And you joined super early. Buena suerte mañana. Thank you, Jess. Good luck to you. Have a great weekend. Run fearless.